Hi guys, welcome to the Centre Bounce. This is our January power rankings for the forward line. The guys that we think are going to be top of their line, the ones that you should be considering, and the order that they're going to be in. Stay tuned. Joe, how you doing, mate?
Good, very good.
Good.
We're talking about the
Good.
forward line. A lot of people have got it sort of autopilot, and we're going to test that.
Mhm. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, there's a couple of players who we think are going to be locks in there, and a few sneaky selections that ones to track over the preseason. If you want to have some pods, some players that, hey, maybe work, maybe don't work, this is the video for you. Who's up first, Joe?
All right, let's get things rolling in the forward line. We are going to start with the guy who is first on the list. That is Jason Horn Francis. Got the best buy this year, sharing it with. Does he have the best
Kilda.
buy? He's got a really good buy.
Yep.
I know St Kilda's got it. I'm not sure if is it St Kilda and Frio. It's St Kilda and Frio.
Yes, it is.
He's got a very good buy.
You're thinking of last year.
I'm thinking of last year, correct. He's a very good player. Prime of his career still around the corner. Will continue to get increased responsibility in the centre bounce. Had periods of time where it looked like he was breaking out last year. This is
Yep.
probably one of those rare opportunities we might not get him as a forward next year. So we're going to capitalize and get him this year.
Yeah, I definitely think the natural progression. I mean, we came into it average of 99. Natural progression, going to have a bit more time on his hands, another year of preseason, more fitness. Like 110 average could happen with him, especially with some other players at Port moving around. Who is number 2 on our list, Joe?
Mate, it is none other than your new acquisition coming
There you
across
go.
from the Western Bulldogs, Caleb Daniel.
I mean, it wouldn't be a Supercoach season if we didn't have a North Melbourne halfback available in the forward line. It didn't really happen as much last year. There was Charlie Comben for periods of time, and we saw Tom Powell in a few teams and
Zach
whatnot.
Fisher.
But Zach, oh, there you go, Zach Fisher. I mean, that's what, 3 years in a row. Caleb Daniel now makes it year 4. He's just a phenomenal pick. Price, positional. We know he's done it before. The guy's averaged over 100. He's come in to play the role that Bevo said, kick him out, get rid of him. Caleb Daniel, second on our power rankings for today. Who's up number 3?
Number 3, we've got Rankin over there at the Adelaide Crows. He had periods of times where he was introduced into the midfield at the Crows and really would turn the game on its head. He has a speed, a line breaking ability that the Crows really were missing and don't have in their midfielders. It was very one paced, and the decision to introduce Rankin there definitely was a game changer. Hard to forget that incredible run that he did against Collingwood, where unfortunately he did end up running too far. But you would anticipate that more of the same should be featuring this year in 2025 because the need for speed does not go away. If anything, the need for speed only increases over time with our modern day with the 666. So I can see Rankin featuring in that centre bounce again this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's 2 question marks for Rankin at the moment. With me, it's can he not get suspended? Because I know that killed a lot of people last year. He'd come back 1 week later and then another 4 or 5 week suspension. And it really comes down to Adelaide has a perfect fixture. They have a really good start to the season. But what's happening with that Adelaide midfield? Peatling, few young players coming through there. Is Rankin going to play more mid? Is he going to play more forward? What's going to happen? He'd be in a lot more people's teams if we kind of knew already.
Yeah, I think we can anticipate the Crows to finally make that rise up the ladder. I know a lot of people and commentators thought that Adelaide were going to make that climb up the ladder last year, so they were probably one of the disappointments there. But with Cumming and Peatling added to the side, moving Laird out of the midfield into the back line as a halfback flanker, there's got to be some change coming at the Crows, and I think Rankin definitely has a part to play. Next on the list, similar to that, we anticipate that this guy will have a similar type of impact on his new club.
Yeah, a few people have Bailey Smith. A few people have Jack McCrae at a similar around the points. Shai Bolton is definitely one who has moved for more opportunity, has moved to a better team. So a team as well. I think Richmond the last couple of years with Dustin Martin maybe not being the player that he was, has focused on Shai Bolton to kind of be a lot more of that carry type player, which has hurt his Supercoach scoring and hurt his scoring in general. Coming to a stronger team, mate, this guy dominates at Optus, and every second game there, bloody thanks to North Melbourne, who've now sold more games to WA. Every second game is going to be at Optus. So we're expecting good scores. We're expecting good things. It's the same size as the MCG, mate. Onto a winner. Could be a sneaky selection because he doesn't have the early buy as well.
Correct. He definitely checked out at the end of the season last year, but he averaged over 90 in a season where his team finished like 17th on the ladder. So Shai Bolton, he has talent and X factor to burn, and again, some line breaking ability. You can see him maybe get a few CBAs here and there at Freo. We got a couple of St Kilda boys at this point. You can choose which order you want to put them in. If it's Philippou or McCrae. Look, we'll just go with Philippou first. I think the youth, the dynamic ability, his ability, I think, to keep up with the play is going to be the big question mark because the Saints are playing a lot faster football nowadays, and that's what saw them really improve. Mateus had a very, very solid end to the year last year with his 4 games, flying in the preseason. I think he will just take the next step in his progression as a footy player. Has the best buy in the game as well. So Mateus Philippou, I think, at F5.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the next one up on the list has to be Jack McCrae, as you kind of alluded to. The guy's done it similar to Caleb Daniel. He's done it before, changed clubs for a new opportunity. St Kilda aren't going to go relegate him to the forward pocket like Bulldogs did at certain points throughout the season. They need the mature age. They need the mature body in the midfield. Expect good things from Jack McCrae. There's a world where it doesn't work out, but that's why he's not number one on our list.
Yes, exactly. And that's the reason why we've got Philippou ahead of him, I think, at F5. We follow up with someone that you mentioned previously, Big J. We've got Bailey Smith here, who has been earmarked to be playing a lot more midfield, inside midfield, if that's the sort of role that we're going to get from him. It is pretty bare bones, I think, the midfield at Geelong. Really in need of rejuvenation. Dangerfield will continue to do what Dangerfield does, but they'll continue to manage him over the course of the season. Holmes as well. He's pretty injury prone. He may have to be managed as well. If Bailey Smith can stay fit and firing on the park, then he really could be a keeper for us all year long. And I think that's what we're all selecting him to be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll go back to McCrae. Geelong haven't brought him into the team to not play a dominant role. We've spoken about in previous videos about them wanting to blood more youth and play more younger players through their dominating role. Expect good things from him.
He was the worst kept secret in the AFL. Everyone knew that he was gone from the year before, and that cotton on. We all cotton on to that move, didn't we?
100%.
F8.
Yeah, the Causa special. I'll call him the Causa special from now on. Always talked about Brett Daniels. Brett Daniels in my team. Hope you're watching, Causa. Sneaky selection. He's kind of done what Toby Green had done previously. Played a small forward role, kind of gone through the middle a little bit, has had his lower games, but if you watch some of his scoring from last year, he had some monsters as well. Super pod, early buy, which definitely does hurt him, especially when you've got a lot of people who have locked in their top 8, locked in top 8s that don't have buys at all until halfway through the season. So one to watch. What happens at GWS? Is there more opportunities with the likes of Pete Ling coming and a few others leaving? Brett Daniels getting people's teams and under 500K.
Under 500K, so there's a little bit of value there. Depending on how he starts, you never know. You could get him for a little bit cheaper, but I think he is truly one of the premier smalls in the comp. He's such a tough nut, and he makes very good decisions most of the time. So apart from, of course, that one time against the Brisbane Lions where he decides to hack the ball out of the air, and the rest of his history, as we say. Now we've got a Brisbane Lions premier.
There you go.
Flex.
Now, the last one on our list, Joe, who makes it into the flex position? The one that, hey, look, you might be able to put in your teams or someone to watch. for
But we gotta,
January's top 10.
yeah, we can't not identify it. And one of the Carlton boys could potentially be, if it's not King Charles, could be big Harry McCae, but we just think that they might be eating into each other's points, and as a result, they might not end up making it to the final score. Plus, obviously, being key forwards, there's inconsistency in the scores. Someone that probably has a bit more, I think, reliability and historical scoring is Luke Jackson. Potentially, if you factor in, it's been very rare for Sean Darcy to play a full season. I don't think he ever has played a full season. And there might be games where if he's not injured, he's suspended or maybe managed. And if Luke Jackson is the primary ruck at any point in time during the course of the season, he can average over 90. As you can see, he can pretty casually average 95 for the season. We anticipate that Fremantle are going to be one of the strong risers in the AFL landscape this year. And if he's playing as a pinch hit ruck whilst resting forward with great forward craft, he could get a lot of supply in that forward line in addition to being a ruckman. So I think Luke Jackson manages to be that sneaky one that could break into the top 8.
There you go. Guys, that is our power rankings, our forward line power rankings for January. Let us know down in the comments. Do you guys agree? Do you guys not agree? Who have we missed out on? Joe, Jesse Hogan, where are all these players? Let us know down in the comments.
Where's Tom Lynch, mate? Where's Isaac Kako? Nah, mate, this is
Quinton Narkle rebirth,
Quinton Narkle. Guys, let us know down below what you had thought. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us. Regardless, we will be doing the rest of the lines, the midfield, the back line, even the rucks, where we got less options. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to not miss out on any of that content that we are pumping out.
And we'll revisit this probably February and at least heading into this season in March as well. So stay tuned for those videos. Because here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you guys don't have to. Bye for now.